When people first meet me, and obviously you meet somebody and they say, "Oh, what is it you do for work?" Because as human beings, that's the thing that that's like our go to when we first meet someone. So when they find out that I'm a therapist and that I work and support women, they always kind of take pause and they ask me, "Wait a minute, you only support women? Your clients are only women. You don't have men, you don't do couples, you don't have anyone else aside from women?" And my answer is always the same. That's right. Yes, I only support women, and I'm doing this very intentionally because initially when I first went through my own process of completely changing my life and stepping into my purpose and becoming this incredible counselor that I am today, I had this idea that I was going to help everybody. I was going to support everyone: men, children, moms, dads, couples, grandparents, whoever it was. I was going to open my doors and support them all. That was the initial thought process. And the reason being was that I'm a natural helper. I didn't want to, not include someone. If someone needed help, I wanted to make sure that they could seek me out and that I would have the skills available to them to support them in whatever they were going through. But that slowly started to shift as I, came into building the practice and launching everything online the way I have now and how you see me at this point. It took on a very different life than I thought it was going to. And here's the reason why. Because while, yes, and I know there's men that watch my Instagram stories, I have male followers here, and they for sure are absolutely getting just as much out of it as a woman would. I choose to work with women only one-to-one because that's my area of expertise. That's where I shine the brightest. That's where I absolutely do my best work. And while, yes, I'm sure I could support a man, I'm sure I could support a couple in building on better communication, I know for myself, my genius zone, or the thing I really, really, really excel at, is supporting women seeking transformation, letting go of the past, stepping into their worth, stepping into their purpose, waking up with living a life full of joy. That's where I really shine. So when I started to kind of develop this and develop my programming and develop my social media schedule and begin taking on clients, I knew that it needed to be just women. And I think really and truly I knew that all along. If I really think back, if I really reflect back on, going through this process and from the very beginning to where I am now, I think part of me always knew it was just going to be women, but I didn't want to not be inclusive. And that's everything that we're taught when you're in school, when you go through school to do this type of job. It's inclusivity is key. And while my intention is never to not include somebody or not include a specific gender, my choice is to really narrow in and focus my messaging, focus everything in on what I'm truly good at. And the same goes for you rather. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I want to let you know that we all have an area of expertise, an area of absolute genius where we shine the brightest. And I want you to do some exploration if you don't know what this is. And this builds on, you've heard me talk about in here before, really playing to your strengths. And we all have inherent gifts that we came to this earth with that we're supposed to use in one way or another, whether it's, in a volunteer manner, whether it's as a hobby, whether it's as a career. We all have gifts we're meant to use. We're meant to showcase to the world and move humanity forward and support others. But if we're trying to please everybody, if we're trying to use our gift on all of the people, it's going to become very overwhelming for us, and it's going to be unclear as to how we're using it. So it's really important for you to determine and discover not only your strengths, because we are all good at something. And if you are asking or you're saying to yourself right now, "I'm not good at anything," ask yourself, what would your best friend say you're good at? And that will kind of give you that little bit of inspiration. It's always easier to think about what somebody else might say about you than to think about your own self within your own self, if that makes sense. So take some time to consider this. What are you an expert at? What do you have mastery of? What really, brings you joy in a day and makes you excited to be alive? And it could be something as simple as reading. Maybe you're incredibly passionate about reading and this is your area of genius, and maybe you're meant to do that just for yourself, maybe you're just meant to have that as your hobby personally for you, but maybe you're supposed to teach others the joys of reading, who knows, right? But the point is that we need to tap into that genius zone and really, really narrow in and focus. And even though it might seem like, especially if you're using your area of genius in it career-wise, you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I'm limiting myself if I say I just want to work with women, or I just want to work with men, or I just want to work with couples. In my case anyways, whatever it is, the thought is going to go through your mind that you're limiting yourself. But I would encourage you, because thinking about limitation and coming from a limitation perspective is setting out a vibration of scarcity, that there isn't enough. And as we know, universal principle suggests if our output is that of scarcity, we are going to get scarcity or evidence of scarcity back. But if we go into it and know, like for me, there are enough women in the province of Ontario that need my support, that are the perfect client for me, that will benefit from us working together. If I come from that mindset, as opposed to thinking, oh man, I'm limiting myself to women only, there's not enough women in the province of Ontario. You see the difference there? I'm focusing more and choosing to focus on the abundant side of things, meaning that there is enough. And so far, that has been the case. So far, that has been the reality that I've manifested for myself. But that's also because I'm focusing so much and lasering in on the fact that that's where I shine, supporting women, right? Makes sense? Makes sense? Makes sense. Anyways, my friends, that was just like a little quick story. Focus in on your genius zone. What is it that you are an expert in? Tell me in the comments. I want to know. I can't wait to hear it. And with that, I hope you are happy, healthy, and abundant. And of course, make it a great day, make it a great day, make it a great day. I don't even know. I got the wiggles today. Let's get to it. I'll see you soon.